We have co-favourites of 3 in this race, although one of them is a doubtful runner. We discussed it earlier. At Fisher's Cross, 5-1. Ballycasey, 5-1. And Punt Alexandra, 5-1. Connie Gree, the first of or another English horse, sorry, 10-1. One for money earlier today, we discussed earlier on, was Champagne Fever. Was back from 16-1 to 12-1 for this race.
So, quite an indicator on that one. No.
I'm pretty sure Champagne Fever goes for the Supreme. I think that's the vibes they were saying the other day. Rich Richie owns Champagne Fever, Pont Alexander, Ballycasey. I think they're going to split the 3 of them up in the 3 novice races. Ballycasey is favourite ahead of At Fisher's Cross. And At Fisher's Cross beat a horse of Willie's called Inish Island. He goes for one of the handicaps. He probably have a good chance in that, but I think Ballycasey will be a long way ahead of Inish Island, and that should leave him a good bit in front of At Fisher's Cross on known form so far, so I think he should take beat.
Tony?
Yeah, At Fisher's Cross improved all season. He won a handicap off 122 in Newbury. The last day he obviously beat the new one. He looks like he stays really well. He's won over 3 mile at Cheltenham. He beat Inish Island. He beat him snug enough now, to be honest. He's a good tough horse. He might be a little bit ground dependent in that he's won all his races on heavy ground this year. And he's pretty near the best of the English horses, so if Ballycasey's that good, then he'd probably beat him, but At Fisher's Cross has got very solid form.
Shark, what are your views on the Albert Bartlett?
Yeah, for a long time, Ballycasey, they're after being a few quid from early in time. He hasn't run for a while, but Willie named this race for this horse for a long time. And the boys in the yard at home thinks that he can't get beaten, they said he's flying. Fisher's Cross, I owned him for about 10 minutes about 6 months ago, and I wish I still owned him, to be an awful help. I was at the sales in Brightwell and I bought him for 30 grand, and there was a bit of a mix up and I had to give him back, but broke me heart. Rule the World is Mouse Morris's. If you're looking for an each way bet here, Rule the World probably Gigginstown horse. Mouse Morris, he looks to be one of the best of the Irish, but I couldn't go past Ballycasey from the way they're talking in Closutton, that he's probably one of the bankers himself, and Pont Alexander are the 2 that are really fancy down there.
Andrew, what are your views on Albert Bartlett?
Yeah, At Fisher's Cross looks a little bit clumsy, but he ticks most of the boxes, so I'll probably go for him. There's all this talk about Ballycasey, but he hasn't really done it on the track. But you saw him winning there, right? That was an egg and spoon race in Thurles, and he didn't look all that impressive. So maybe Danny might tell us something that's happening at home that isn't happening on the racetrack.
Because it is a short price, as you say. It wasn't that spectacular.
Yeah, he won his maiden hurdle around Clonmel. It was an amateur hurdle. Willie sent him down there because Patrick was going for the amateur record at the time, and he wanted a good horse to get one of the numbers up. And he was sent down to Thurles again the next day because Willie had Pont Alexander for the 2.5 mile grade 2 in Leopardstown, and Champagne Fever won the grade 1 up there. So as I said, they're the 3 of Rich's horses, so they were kept apart now. I don't think Ruby asked him any questions. He won on the bridle as he did down there. It wasn't impressive, Andrew's right in saying that, but I think there was plenty left.
So Ballycasey could be the one to beat then?
Yeah, I think so.